Amaka's first lie was small. So small that it did not even feel like a lie. It felt like protection. She stood outside the glass entrance of Silvercrest Mall, adjusting the strap of her handbag while watching expensive cars glide into the parking lot. Her reflection stared back at her. Neat grades, carefully applied makeup, borrowed heels, and a dress her cousin had insisted she wear. Today, she was meeting Tunde's friends for the first time. Her heart beat nervously because Tunde lived in a world she had only seen on social media. He spoke about investments, business meetings, and weekend trips like they were normal parts of life. Meanwhile, Amaka worked at a small phone accessories shop in Benin City, earning just enough to survive. The problem was simple. Tunde believed she was rich, and she had never corrected him. 3 months earlier, their story had begun in the most ordinary way. Tunde walked into the shop looking frustrated, holding his phone like it had personally offended him. "My charger stopped working," he said. Amaka helped him choose another one, explaining patiently which brand lasted longer. He watched her closely, amused by how seriously she took the task. "You sound like an engineer," he joked. She laughed shyly. "No, just experience." Their conversation lasted longer than necessary. Before leaving, he smiled warmly and asked if he could come back just to talk some time. She agreed, surprised by how comfortable she felt around him. Their second meeting created the misunderstanding that changed everything. That day, her boss closed the shop early. Embarrassed about waiting outside a small roadside store, Amaka walked toward a nearby luxury boutique to wait for Tunde's arrival. When he pulled up and saw her standing confidently near the entrance, his eyes widened. "You didn't tell me you owned a fashion store," he said, impressed. Amaka froze. The truth sat on her tongue, ready to come out. She could have laughed and corrected him immediately. Instead, she smiled nervously and said nothing. That silence became the beginning of her fake life. After that, assumptions grew naturally. Tunde spoke about business and wealth, believing she understood his lifestyle. She nodded along, pretending familiarity. She borrowed clothes from her cousin to match his outings. She avoided him bringing him near her neighborhood and claimed she lived in Lekki instead of her family compound in Uselu. Each lie felt temporary. She told herself she would explain later when the relationship became stronger. But later never came. Because she was happy. Tunde treated her with kindness she had never experienced before. He remembered small details about her stories, called every morning to check on her, and listened carefully whenever she spoke about her dreams. One evening during dinner, he looked at her softly and said, "You're different from anyone I've met." Guilt tightened her chest, but she smiled anyway. She convinced herself that love mattered more than background. Everything changed one Sunday evening while they were driving. "I want to meet your family," Tunde said casually. Amaka's smile disappeared. "My family?" "Yes. Mine already likes you. It's only fair." Fear spread instantly through her. She tried excuses, travel, busy schedules, distant relatives, but Tunde remained patient and determined. Weeks later, he announced happily that he was free the coming weekend and wanted to visit them. That night, Amaka barely slept. Her small room suddenly felt suffocating. The peeling paint on the wall, the old fan making noise above her, and the sounds of neighbors outside reminded her of the truth she had been hiding. She imagined the disappointment in Tunde's eyes when he discovered everything. For a moment, she considered renting a better apartment just for one day, but reality stopped her. She didn't have the money. For the first time, she realized lies were easy to start but heavy to carry. Saturday arrived too quickly. Tunde picked her up with a bright smile and gifts carefully wrapped for her parents. As they drove away from the city center, the environment slowly changed. Smooth roads became rougher. Tall buildings gave way to small houses and busy roadside markets. Tunde grew quiet. "Are we close?" he asked gently. "Yes," she whispered. The car stopped in front of her family compound, a modest building with faded paint and children playing outside. Her younger brother ran toward her immediately, shouting her name with excitement. Tunde watched silently. Her mother came outside, smiling warmly, welcoming him inside without hesitation. The house was simple but filled with life. Family photographs decorated the walls. The smell of soup cooking drifted through the air. Amaka felt exposed. Then her mother said something innocent that shattered everything.
Our daughter worked so hard at that phone shop. We're proud of her. Silence filled the room. Tunde slowly turned toward Amaka. A phone shop? He asked quietly. Her throat tightened. There was nowhere left to hide. I was afraid to tell you, she said softly. I was afraid you wouldn't like me if you knew the truth. Her parents looked confused as realization spread across Tunde's face. He stood up and walked outside without speaking. Amaka followed him, tears already falling. I'm sorry, she cried. I never meant to deceive you. I just thought you deserved someone better. He faced her calmly, though disappointment showed in his eyes. Do you think I loved you because of money? He asked. She hesitated. I didn't know. He sighed deeply. I loved the person you were with me, but you didn't trust me enough to be honest. His words hurt because they were true. After a long silence, he spoke again. My family wasn't always comfortable. My mother sold food by the roadside to raise us. I understand struggle. Amaka stared at him, shocked. What hurts, he continued gently, is pretending to be someone else. She wiped her tears. I was ashamed. You never needed to be, he replied. They stood quietly while children laughed nearby. Finally, he said, honesty matters more than image. Without it, love cannot survive. Her heart sank, thinking she had lost him. But then he added softly, today you told the truth. That counts. Relief mixed with uncertainty inside her. Just then, her father stepped outside holding an envelope. Tunde, thank you for helping our daughter's scholarship application months ago, he said gratefully. Both of them looked confused. What scholarship? Tunde asked. Her father handed him the letter. As Tunde read it, surprise filled his face. The training program that changed Amaka's career had been funded by Tunde's company through an anonymous sponsorship. He had helped her long before knowing who she truly was. They stared at each other, stunned by the coincidence. For the first time since arriving, Amaka felt something lift from her chest. There were no more lies left between them. That evening, they talked honestly about fear, insecurity, and expectations. No pretending, no acting, just truth. And somehow, the truth felt safer than any perfect image she had tried to create. Amaka finally understood something important. People do not fall in love with perfection. They fall in love with authenticity. Because pretending may attract attention, but only honesty can build lasting love. The right person will not choose you because of what you have. They will choose you because of who you are.